This is LibreQuest. My name is Matt. It is the 7th of November, 2019. And today I just have one article. It's going to be a historical article from today in 2008. This is from Linux.com. Firefox 3 soldiers on as Firefox 2 prepares its exit. In October, Mozilla witnessed a surge in Firefox 3's market share as it continued to plan the decommission of Firefox 2 and the Gecko engine that powered it. Before the end of December, for 2 weeks in October, Firefox 3 claimed 20% market share, something that web metrics company Net Applications predicted might happen within a month of the new version's June release. Stalled growth and Chrome's appearance caused some backslide, but Firefox 3's pulse is getting stronger. So that's a cool article, and I think we still see a lot of the struggle. I mean, I don't think that's ever going to change, the struggle between web browsers and how many people are using them and all the metrics involved there. But I had done a podcast about PC-DOS version 6.3 recently, and at the conclusion of that podcast, I was unable to successfully get images made from the floppy disks, and I thought the floppy disks were bad. However, my faith in magnetic media was restored when I discovered it was actually the floppy disk drive that I was using. I was not able to get the heads cleaned. I did run a disk cleaner through the floppy disk drive. However, I do have a replacement on the way. Anyway, I was able to successfully image the floppies and install PC-DOS version 6.3. Now, PC-DOS was a version of DOS that was licensed by IBM, licensed from Microsoft. Excuse me. And I'm still not exactly well. Still a little bit sick here. Okay, so this is the what I'm going to be discussing is basically what you get with PC-DOS version 6.3. So first, at the very top, it says the IBM DOS shell, and then you have a traditional menu, which is going to be your file options. And let me actually get over to my program here. Sorry, I'm trying to discuss this. I'm trying to describe what I'm seeing here, and I'm not actually in the active window. I was messing around with the preview window in OBS. That's kind of silly. So yeah, but back in the actual virtual machine, we have at the top, it says IBM DOS shell. Then we have our file. We have options, view, and help. So under file, we have new, open, copy, delete, properties, and reorder. Okay. We also have run and exit. And I do believe if you use exit, it will kick you out to a DOS prompt. Under options, we have confirmation, file display options, select across directories, enable task swapper, display, and colors. So this is really cool. Colors, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, honestly. I would think if that this was mostly used for business application, for maybe people that would be out and about, with a small laptop or something like that, especially with the PCMCIA support. But the colors, I would think you would, for cost reasons, you would probably go monochrome on your display, or something like that. But maybe not. So, but it does have different themes. You can do different color themes. So the different color themes that there are in here. Let me go back to the proper menu here. So under options, colors, there is monochrome, basic blue, ocean, monochrome, which is 2 colors, monochrome 4 colors, reverse, hot pink, emerald city, and turquoise. I'm going to do monochrome 2 colors. That's pretty rad. All right, so under view, we have single file list, dual file list, all files, program list, repaint screen. Then we also have index. Under help, we have index, keyboard, shell basics, commands, procedures, using help, and about shell. Let's go under commands. So in commands, we have command help. Choose a topic to learn about the commands on that menu. So file list menus, let's see, program list menus, view screen menus. Can I just select this? Let's see, program list menus, file menu. New command, open command, copy command, delete command. Let's just select new command. Adding and changing program groups. So wow, this is a whole bunch of documentation here so that you can learn how to use this this system, which is PC-DOS 6.3. So under main, there are basically three different windows. There's the menu at the top, then there's your drive selection. You can select A, B, or C. And then right below that, you have your directory tree. And right now I've got disk C selected. So I've got C, and then under there, I have DOS. And if I select that directory on the right-hand side, there's a window that's displaying all the contents of that directory. And I'm trying to scroll, and scroll does not work in here. So, but you can click and drag. There's a little navigation slider on the right-hand side, so you can actually look through all the programs. Just to name a few, there's fdisk, there's format, there's fc, expand. Let's see what else. Let's look at the executables here. We have drive lock, deltree, okay, and DOS shell. Lots of programs here. My goodness. Lots of programs in there. But the most exciting thing to me is there's a section called main, and down here you have your central point scheduler. And this is actually pretty cool. It is a calendar, and you can add different things to different dates. Now this gives you a date range you can select from, time, and then under frequency you've got a lot of options. You've got one time only, daily, work days only, weekly, monthly fixed day, monthly fixed weekday, and bi-weekly. So you've got all these options here for scheduling and handling a schedule. So it's pretty cool. And then you have just an event slider on the side where you can scroll through the different events that you have saved here in your calendar. So that's pretty nifty there. And then you've got, what is a central point undelete? So I assume that this is if you have deleted a file, you can actually go back and undelete the file, because for the sake of saving time, you're really just hiding the file and just flagging it as writable, pretty much. And that's the same on any system. So like if you have a file that's a gigabyte and you delete it, the data for that file is still there. It's just invisible to your operating system. Yeah, but that's how recovery programs basically work. They just try to rebuild that, or make the file viewable again and unmark it as writable, so that's not overwritten by more data. So underneath the central point undelete, there's disk utilities. So you've got disk copy, quick format, and undelete. So that is so cool, because typically in DOS, you're doing that just by typing in your commands, and in this way you've got basically, it's a pretty useful interface here, especially for maybe people who are new to a computing system, and this is, this would have been very helpful for just somebody you were sending out to do some sort of work, that this would be easier for them to actually navigate and use. So okay, after disk utility, there's central point backup. So this says must be configured the first time you run it. Okay, so this is really cool. This is your backup manager here. So it says the first thing you're prompted with is in the setup is choose tape type. It says select the type of tape drive to configure. Okay, and there's all kinds of different options here. You've got SCSI, you've got 4080 FTC, QIC, and then you've got no tape. Let's go with no tape. So in this case, you'll configure floppies. So you've got A and B floppy that you can use for backups. And this is cool because it's 360 kilobytes, 1.2 megabytes, and 720 kilobytes, and then 1.44 megabyte. So, sorry about that. I've got a rough cough going on. So the thing about 1.44 megabyte floppy disk, the 3.5 inch, is those are double density, and they the originals were 720 kilobytes. So double density was a big deal. Actually, somebody had given me at one point an old monochrome. It was like an amber colored monochrome portable computer, and it just had a screen that would fold up, and then you had two floppy disk drives, 3.5 inch floppy disk drives. One was for your operating system and the other for your programs, but they were single density only. And this was in 2001, and I was actually able to get a hold of some single density 3.5-inch floppy drives at that time. So that was kind of exciting, and I really don't remember what I did with that computer. Wish I still had it. Okay, so this is the next section. Now this is under the, what did I do? Under the main section here. Okay, it's checking for viruses now. Okay, but the next thing under the main section was the virus scanner. It's the IBM antivirus/DOS scanner, and it just did a scan and no viruses are found. So that's cool. And now it's updating the database. Oh no, I'm doing the I hit enter again. Now it's doing the virus scan again. No viruses found still. Cool. So can I leave? Let's try Alt. Check. Exit. Okay. So let's go into the command prompt. Now, my goodness, I haven't used DOS in ages. Let's see if FTP is on here. No, it's not on here. Telnet. Nope. Okay. Well, well, we have mount, so that's handy to have. Let's see, is edit. We have edit? We don't have edit. Edit? No edit. Okay. Well, I have no idea how to use the command prompt on here then. Very unfamiliar. And I think actually the for the video side of things, I hadn't checked on that. Oh yeah, the aspect ratio is switching all around on me. So sorry about that if you're watching the video version. Okay, let's exit back at her. Okay, so now we're back in the old TUI here. So I guess that's pretty much it. I mean, you know, it's actual usable installed version of PC-DOS 6.3. Now I don't have any programs to actually install on it. But it's still cool, you know, it's still cool that I actually got it to install. And I thought that I had some bum disks, and it turned out that they were actually good. So, just, you know, that's a good, it made me happy that I was able to do an update about this, and that I actually got it to working. So, oh man, I'm messing this all up. Anyway, let me switch back. Let me get on out of this virtual machine here, and we'll switch back over here. Okay, so that's pretty much it. It's just as usual, a very quick podcast today. I wanted to revisit PC-DOS version 6.3, and yeah, it's going to have to be short. I'm going to have to end it here. It's going to be a short one because it's incredibly late, and I've got to be at work tomorrow, as I'm sure you're probably listening to this at work or something like that. So anyway, thank you for listening. As usual, thank you for listening. And you can get this podcast on YouTube. You can get the podcast on archive.org or LibreQuest.org. And yeah, and I'll post that article that I read at the beginning of the podcast. I'll post it wherever I post this episode. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.